Hey guys, we are hitting up a car boot sale to see if we can snag any goodies to resell online for a profit. Along with me is, of course, my lovely sister and the dog, Percy Boy. You will see them pop up sporadically throughout the video. We have been to these markets before, but it's usually a lot smaller. This time, I believe they were celebrating their 50th anniversary or something, so it was a lot bigger, a lot more exciting, a lot more stalls there. However, bigger doesn't always mean better. You'll see I do struggle to find things that I'm able to actually make our margins on, which is obviously not a gripe, more just a comment. It's just getting tougher out there for what I want to achieve. Now, this was really cool, and this wasn't here last time. It is a local government initiative where they had a lot of free native local plants that they were inviting you to take home and plant in your house. You just sort of told them what your needs were, what you're sort of hoping to achieve, and then they gave you their best recommendation. Come on, buddy. Oh wow, look at the gums. For free. That's the best kind of deal you can get. You're so happy. Do you want to put them, I was going to say in the bag, but do you want me to just hold the bag? You can just hold the plants. Oh, how convenient. You can't help look up things now. Now, if you guys are into your gaming consoles, video games, accessories, etc., you'll know that Wii controllers are usually the most important thing when it comes to selling a Wii bundle. We have a lot of consoles sitting at home and not a lot of controllers to pair them with. This naturally helps it sell faster and makes it more appealing because these controllers are actually harder to come by. And the main reason for that is, and as you can see what I'm checking for here, battery corrosion. People will always leave their batteries in their Wii controllers, forget about it for ages, the batteries then explode, they then rot on the connectors and make them impossible to use. Sometimes you can clean it off if the corrosion isn't too bad, but sometimes it just damages the metal too much that the batteries no longer work. Bit of a hot tip is to always check the condition before you pick them up. They had 3 controllers here and I checked every single one of them. Lucky I did, because one of them did end up having the good old classic exploded batteries in the back. So I wouldn't be willing to pick those up because it's just too much of a gamble to see whether or not they would end up working after I cleaned it up. Another really good thing to look out for when you're looking at Wii controllers is whether or not they are the Motion Plus. One of these controllers was, which does make them a little bit more valuable. However, I would say as a whole, Wiis have sort of gone down in demand. So I don't know whether or not this would make the bundle any more appealing or less so. But wait to see how much they want and how much I'm willing to pay for them. Hey, how much for these?
$10 each.
Yeah, okay.
Does that sound fair?
Probably a bit too much for me, but that's...
Okay, how much do you want to pay for them?
Oh, I probably would have paid maybe like $3 a piece.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about $10
So that's
for both of them?
This is 150.
Probably not, but that's okay.
Okay, have a think about it.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, this is so cool. Ashtray, normally. You're getting tempted by the sausages, aren't you?
That's a model, yeah. Oh, look at you.
Jesus.
You look like another topic Dad says yes.
Wow, look at that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, it has the concertina thing.
Yeah. I don't have that one in my collection. Look at the bag as well. That's very cool.
Oh, there's a little one like your one as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like the one I dusted the other day.
Yes. So that one feels a bit more modern on the side.
Oh yeah, like that's the, because the other one had that other.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He's very friendly.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
I really don't need to buy more cameras, do I? We have those.
Oh my god, we do have those.
Yeah, I actually YouTubed.
Look at the glasses.
Glasses? Yeah, both of them.
They're very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like the thing that looks like the thing that our case.
Oh yeah. You don't need that for some reading when you go to Cambridge, Nicole. So this is an impulse I am glad I didn't listen to. First of all, brass I always have a squiz at. I mean, I think we're yet to really sell a whole lot in our store. The biggest thing that we've sold, I think, was a brass horse. But this bull, goat, cow with horns, whatever you want to call it, he was so cute, so funny. I was trying to figure out if he was Murano or if he was just a cool little glass animal. He had good weight to him, but more likely than not, probably would have broken, so I'm glad I left him behind. They did only want $10, but I'm glad I didn't listen to that impulse. Now these fish dishes, also not for reselling, more of a personal interest. We recently got a clay kit and I was saying to Nicole, these would actually be really cute to make because not only would they be practical but also possibly a really cool gift. They're quite dainty, quite nice, something that we could probably replicate. So more of an inspo than a flipping. If you've been with us for a while now, you know one thing we love to keep our eyes out for are kids' books, in particular Del Toro Quest, as you can see there. We're more now looking for the holo covers, but also Harry Potter. You always see resellers talk about this one. It's, I think, an oldie but a goodie. People continuously buy it, no matter the condition. Complete sets of Harry Potter generally do quite well, especially if you can get your hands on a complete first edition. I know, basically unheard of, but it is apparently possible, and that goes for quite a few thousands of dollars. Here we do have two non-first editions. The first and the second book, you can generally tell because they are a soft cover. From my research and what I've found, first editions always come in a hard, but at least we have the other three in the hard, so I know that they're usually a first Australian print. This was for a Montessori charity, so more than happy to give them my money.
Do I just do all 5 for $8? That's pretty good.
Now this is a classic garage sale find, the good old Instax cameras. I think they were super popular at one point, everyone bought them, and now people are sort of trying to move them on. You can see here I'm just testing to see if the camera lens comes out, which it is not, so that means that this one is broken, so I choose to leave it behind, but it does fetch a good quick buck on eBay.
Skaties, Nicole. They're called skaties.
Not gonna lie, at this point I was feeling like this car boot sale probably wasn't gonna be the biggest money maker for us. There weren't as many stores as I was hoping. That would be a bit more garage saley. There was a lot more clothes and the good items seemed to be priced up. There was this camera lens that I had a quick squiz at. However, I do find that if you can't test the lenses, they are a bit harder to sell, and justifiably so. Like if you're spending good money on a lens, you want to know that it works. This one I also did spot a little bit of mold, so instantly you put it back at that point. It's just not worth the risk. Also, struggling to find more games until I saw this bad boy.
First game today, Nicole. Not even in there. Nicole. Yeah, you heard me. She didn't.
X-ray. I don't know that's moving. We did pretty well getting through it there.
Oh, Nicole, you want something for your scones?
The day was getting on and I was desperate to pick up anything. I spotted a PS4 game out of the corner of my eye, saw it was Battlefield 4, which already is not one of the best games to be picking up. I then checked the back, it was scratched as hell, and then as the icing on the cake and just my luck, of course, the bottom was completely missing on the case. Instant putback and instant disappointment. So I'll give credit to this next store, and it did have one pretty cool thing going for it. That was Five Nights at Freddy's merch. I am surprised to see it in kids' clothing because if you guys aren't aware, the premise of this game is essentially you are a security guard working at, I'm pretty sure, some sort of pizzeria where the mechanical animals that would normally play music come to life and try to kill you. So interesting that it's on a kid's shirt, but also we're trying to stay away from clothing, so stepped away from that one. But then looking over at their books, I did notice that they had a Five Nights at Freddy bundle, which is also really cool. It was number 1 to 4, so I thought there could be some potential, but they did want $25 for it, which just not enough in that profit margin for us. I looked it up, but sadly had to put it back.
That's like LMAs.
Where are you looking? Where?
Right, way behind that girl.
Oh, okay. Oh, it is. Okay, we'll jump through and have a look. If you haven't heard of the brand Almays, guys, definitely keep your eye out. It is very high-end, very sought after. I am lucky enough to have a few pieces of my own, but their designs are absolutely gorgeous. As soon as we saw the possibility that this dress could be by them, you could see I literally ran over. But upon closer inspection, there were a few things that were raising a couple of suspicious flags. So listen in and you'll see what our outcome is. No way that would fit me.
What size is it?
I don't know, I can't see on it.
I mean, it's got a stretchy back.
I don't know, that's why I was thinking it's a bit weird. Yeah, that's a bit weird though, that they'd have a pretend
It's also
one.
not really like super wearable. I just wanted to point it out because I saw
No,
it.
this one as well. Yeah, it's fakes, yeah. You've seen it here first, everybody. I spotted a fakes.
I mean, the material did feel a little bit.
Yeah, it felt weird. Come on. So not only were there no tags with the brand or the size on it, which is super odd, the material also just didn't feel high enough quality to be part of the Almays brand. Keep your wits about you and trust your gut instincts. This is why we left these fakies behind. I know I said we weren't doing clothing, but I think this is one of those weird and rare categories that have the potential to have a lot of money, and that is, my friends, vintage shirts. Even more so, vintage rock band shirts. These ones in this box were just your generic vintage shirts. The guy seemed to have spent a lot of time collecting them, but to be honest, they didn't have the classic single stitch, and that's pretty much all I know about vintage t-shirts. So I was questioning their age or if they just had an intentionally distressed look about them. I mean, some of them do look a bit older, but I just couldn't confidently guarantee that they were of the age at which he was claiming. I think it's something that in the future I might try and learn more about. If you guys have any other tips and tricks, I will gladly love to hear them. But I think for now, just sticking to the rule of thumb of let's leave as much clothing behind unless it is sports related, which is something that Matt and I are a lot more confident in. Yeah, we're just going to leave those bad boys behind and stick to what we know. But I do get a price check from him because if it was super dirt cheap, I would have been happy to take a bit of a gamble. Unfortunately, not the case. How much are your shirts in general?
$25 each for those.
Okay. And the rock ones?
The rocks, they gotta be more expensive.
Yeah, of course.
$50.
Okay. And here is a quick squiz of some of those $50 vintage rock band t-shirts he was referring to. Please let me know if I've missed something. Like, obviously I know the band Kiss, but as I said, no single stitch, no go. Some of these other ones I hadn't heard of before, so they could have been really rare or really good money, but it's just not something that I'm confident in. So definitely let me know if I've missed out on something. I mean, this last one though, James Blunt, hello there. I still left him behind, but was cool to see.
What on earth is kinetic?
It's the eye toy. It's just exercise by the looks of it.
Did it sell? Same thing? Or not? Sims?
You can find anything in there, $2.
Sounds good, thank you. As the man said, only $2 if I could find something in there. And to be honest, I was actually getting a little hopeful because there was a variety of games in there. There was quite a few manuals. I was hoping that there might have been a diamond in the rough. To be honest, there probably was at the beginning of the day, but seeing as this was one of the last stores that we had ended up visiting, honestly, probably picked clean, which is why the offer was so good at $2. Even at that, there was nothing in here worth picking up, and I am consciously trying to make the decision to not just pick up stuff that's going to sit in my death pile or things that aren't adding value to any listings. Don't get me wrong, you can bulk list games, but unless you're willing to literally sell them at $2 a piece in your bulk bundle, they're not going to move. So I would literally be getting my money back on this. which just is not what we're looking for. So really, unfortunately, this one got left behind. But I was genuinely considering these manuals. They just weren't in good enough condition to warrant a purchase. I think the GoPro knew that we had had enough with very little success, because as you can see, the footage froze. I didn't know this until I got back into editing, but luckily we didn't pick up anything else. It was just the Harry Potters for this one. Despite it being a lovely day, it just wasn't as profitable as we were hoping for. But all in all, I'm still happy I went, and it was really nice just to get out and see what's out there. Thanks for watching, guys. Please comment a hello if you've made it this far. Like, chuck us a subscribe if you could. That would mean the world. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.